BanjoBenClark.com. I'm Banjo Ben. I've got a little bit of a cold, but that's all right. It ain't gonna stop me from picking. And today we're gonna pick Leather Britches in the key of G. I did this one for mandolin. I've got it coming for banjo, and it's such a cool song. I thought let's do a couple solos for guitar. So the first one we're gonna learn is more like a straight ahead melody version. We can really get that in your mind. And then we have an advanced version, bluesy version, where we have all kinds of licks and tricks and different ways to present that melody. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, here in a moment, I'll ask you to come over to the website, BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a Gold Peak member, have access to this lesson. This is probably 40 total minutes of lesson for this song, as well as hundreds of others, because I've done this every week for years and years. Okay, so you'll get not only the video lesson, but also the tab, exactly like I played it in the 3 different speeds of MP3 rhythm tracks. I'd be honored to have you on board. Let's start out with this melody version of Leather Britches on guitar. Let's play some Leather Britches on the guitar. This one's in the key of G. It's a fiddle tune. It's got that typical fiddle tune arrangement where it has an A part that lasts 8 bars. And then it will repeat that, and then it'll change the melody and the progression a little bit for a B part. Okay, and so we're going to learn a very straight ahead melody version first. Then I have a more advanced bluesy version there on the side. This only has 3 chords in it, G, C, and D. And there are some different variations that people play as far as when they switch chords, but I'll give you a very common one. Let's go ahead and throw up the first line of tab there. I want you to notice that those little black arrows beneath each one of the notes, those are our pick hand, pick directions. So the down arrow will be a down stroke, and up arrow will be an up stroke. And that's important for this one because to really get our speed down, we're going to have to do some good alternate picking. So the first measure, we're just going to walk up with some quarter notes. Just right up that 4th string. Now when we get to the second measure, we're going to go into the first A part, which is 8 bars long. But you know, I think we ought to just get the melody in our mind so that we can kind of look at this piece from, with an overview. But the melody sounds like this. If I were to just break it down more into quarter notes, it sounds... which kind of sounds similar to maybe a couple other songs. Okay, but that's what the melody sounds like in the A part. And what makes it very interesting is that it'll often break up those melody notes by going back to the G note. So in between those melody notes, we're going back and playing almost like a drone sound, which makes it a lot of fun to play and a lot of fun to listen to as well. So there in measure 2, we're going to start off with the quarter note. Then I'm going to come up and grab this B note on the 4th fret of the G string. Now, why would I do that instead of playing this open 2nd string? Well, you could play the open 2nd string, but honestly, this is just easier to play if we grab it up here. I could jump up, but another thing it does, and really maybe more of the reason why I chose to do that, is because when you play that open 2nd string, it's going to continue to ring. Maybe you want that sound, but for this particular one, I wanted it to remain closed sounding. So when we get to measure 2, we have some more 8th notes here. And we come down and land on a quarter note at the end on the 2nd fret. Or I'm sorry, that's measure 3. Measure 4, we have a repeat of measure 2. And then we're going to kind of answer these phrases with this little measure here, measure 5, and it stays right within the scale. We'll go down the 4th string. It sounds like this. Walking back up to go back into that drone idea again. So let me play measures 1 through 5 a little slower, and then we're going to play it much, much slower later on in this lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 6, we're going to continue this idea. We've seen all this, but this time at the end of measure 7, we're going to walk up, and here I want us to shift down to where we have our index finger over the 1st fret, and we're going to wrap up this first A part with this little ending lick. It sounds like this. And you can, with that 2nd fret there, you can play it with your middle finger or shift down and do it with your index finger, because I'm going to shift anyway. And then measure 9. And then we're going to walk right back into another A part. And we're going to stay with the same melody, but I want to talk about using a blues note and a slide to get a little different perspective on the melody. Let's check that out.